Hello, everyone, and welcome into the TexAgs postgame wrap. David Nuño here. Jason Jack in the house. What's up, Jason?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Jordan Pugh. Hello, sir.
What up, man?
And Jamie McCoy. How you doing, sir?
Howdy. Good to see everybody.
Guys, look, there's not a lot of takeaways from a spring game, especially at this point with the way rosters are so fluid and we don't know. The portal's open right now. But I think there are some takeaways from this game, and I kind of want to go maybe start things off with particular players, and then we can kind of talk big picture as we get closer to the fall. But to me, and I think this is an easy one, the defensive MVP was Marco Jones. He was just incredible.
Yeah.
Five sacks. Nick Scourton had 5 sacks last year. This guy had it in one game. I know it wasn't a real sack, but Jason, you started off for us. What'd you see from the young freshman?
Man, I thought it was good, but again, it's a spring game. A lot can happen between now and then, right? That's something that I always see is guys have good spring games, and then during the season, I don't know what the adjustment that's made or how they're playing that change is happening. Mm-hmm. So and then again, you don't know the quality of player that he's going up against because when you're in a spring game, you're really not going quality against quality because how they're drafting players when they did it back in my day. So to see that happen on a consistent basis, only time will tell.
Yep. Yeah, Jordan, you go next because I've been hearing a lot of great stuff about what people have been seeing from Marco, I should say. Anything jump out about his quickness, his speed, anything in general?
Well, the burst off the ball was what stood out the most. Kind of like what Jack was saying, man. You don't know the quality of reps that he's getting, but you see the productiveness. That's what you want to see, right? Making plays constantly in the backfield, batting down passes. Man, he was disruptive. He stood out big time this week. But now, like you said, man, what is the consistency? What does it look like over the summer, transitioning into the fall camp, into the season? How can we take that and progress with what we have coming back on the D-line this year? So I thought he was a big standout. I thought he played real well. I loved his elusiveness. I thought he had good bend off the edge. I thought he was very explosive and can be very disruptive for us. So, man, if we could take that and build upon what he did today, I think that would be big for us going into the fall.
Jamie, despite being on the losing side, I thought Mario Craver, the wide receiver transfer, really jumped off the page. He had a couple of plays with Marcel where their timing was perfect. He skied in the air for a couple of passes. You see anything in particular from Mario Craver?
Not just him, but there were things with him. I just like seeing a capable, able-bodied receiver going up and making plays. I know Marcel's going to be leaning on those guys, especially after losing a guy like Noah Thomas and the size he has. But along with Mario, seeing Coach P out there, Bethel Roman, and then I like the guy Isaiah. He was making some plays that when you come down with those, it's like easily it could have been dropped. 2 of them could have been dropped, but for the fact that he was able to have the awareness and come down with the catch, I know that he'll be able to build on that in the fall. So I was just happy to see some good receiver play, see some good, like I said, competent guys looking like they're able and willing to stick their hand in the pile.
Jordan, there was a play from Isaiah Williams that Jamie was talking about a moment ago where he skies in the air and he muscles it and he gets that touchdown. A name that we don't really talk about a lot because there have been receivers here that were just more veteran. Now there's an opportunity. You see Isaiah Williams maybe getting in the mix?
Oh, yeah. You look at the explosive playmaking that he had, but then you're looking at the catch radius and his body balance in the air. That's what really stood out. Look, the biggest thing with us, man, there has been a lack of talent or explosiveness when it comes to the outside skill guys. But seeing him step up, seeing him be consistent, that's one of the things that you want to see within the spring. Who is consistent, who can consistently make those plays and be a target for Marcel. So, man, him, looking at Marco Jones that stood out, the consistency from that standpoint. Man, I was impressed a lot by what he did today with the route running, just the catching radius, catching ability. That was something, man, that was really exciting to see. And I think, man, we could take that moving forward going into the summer.
I want all three of you to talk a little bit about the quarterback play because we got a lot of quarterbacks in this game. Marcel Reed had the most dynamic stats, 18 of 28, 213 yards, a touchdown, a pick. A little inconsistent early on. Anything jump out about Marcel from you, Jason?
Nothing really jumped out. I just want to see him being more comfortable. I think throughout last year, he didn't look very comfortable to me, and I kind of saw the same thing this year, just the start of it. He had a full year with the program, and so I think that's what I want to see is just him being more consistent and feel comfortable, within that pocket and, making plays from there, right? Because I think last year just being thrown in, you'll get opportunities to win. But when other teams figure out what you're going to do and your play scheme, and you can't necessarily make those plays that you made prior to because people are watching you, right? So that's what I want to see him just be more consistent because you're going to see the spurts and you'll see the great passes, but I just want to see it on a consistent level where he can maintain it and then we can really see progression.
All right. Jamie, you go next. What'd you see from Marcel?
Kind of like what Jason said. Another C word I like to see from him more of is just command.
Yes.
When you're watching a spring game, obviously we're in situations where we're not trying to put all of our plays out on film for guys to go back and watch. So I get it from we're trying to dumb it down. And obviously with quarterbacks, they're kind of early whistle, not one of these guys gets sacked or when there's a lane for him to take off for 4 yards, they blow on the whistle. You're going to get those running plays from Marcel, but like I said, I just like to see more command. And granted, it was a small scale today. We weren't getting everything that they're going to have on their plate, but when it's not there, I don't always want to see them scramble. Sometimes it's good for a quarterback to just be ready and know nothing's there. Let me throw it away and not lose any yards or try to be too risque. So consistency, command, just a little bit more of that. And granted, he's been able to put it on display today. He did some things very well, but just moving forward in the future, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, they said it, consistency, command, and confidence. Just ultimately, man, it comes down to the confidence factor. How much, do you believe in the offense? Is the offense being built around what his skill set is? We know that he can run. We know that he can make plays outside of the pocket. But, man, sitting in the pocket, being able to have eyes downfield, making intermediate throws within the pass game, being able to see those progressions and him proceed and progress through the offense, that's the biggest thing that I want to see. So, how will they continue to build the offense around him? What is his command, like Jamie said, but ultimately the confidence factor, the belief factor in what they're doing. Those are the things that you want to see the most out of Marcel.
And this is going to be a panel discussion, and I'll start it off with Jason. I think this team changed, and I'm Captain Obvious here. When Le'Veon Moss went down, the offense was not the same offense. You couldn't get the 4th and 1s. By the way, we had a 4th and 1 today that they couldn't pick up as well, but I'm not going to make a joke about that. But when Le'Veon went down, and then Ruben, he was still not ready by the time. The bowl game, he looked a little bit more ready against USC. Ruben was out there. He looked pretty good. Overall, offensively, the identity is going to have to start. Yes, Marcel has to be good, Jason, but that running game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's where we lacked a lot last year, man. You get a lot of comments when you go back to the office on Monday, and folks are talking about the same thing. Like, what happened? I'm like, man, I don't know, because but for me, the part of the game that's never going to change is the toughness of it, right? In the trenches. That's what's going to be important. It doesn't necessarily matter the running back that's going to be back there. You got to have command at the quarterback, but essentially, we can't look at just the running back or the quarterback to make those plays. It has to be up front, right? If we're going 1 yard, it has to be 11 guys. It just can't be that one. You really know how good your team is when somebody goes down, right? Because then you have the next guy up. I guess back when we were playing, it was do your 111, right? So really, yeah, I remember that, right? But no matter who goes down there, the game has to be won in the trenches. That's for me. Like I coached for a while, and that was my whole thing. I don't care who we had at quarterback or wide receiver. I needed one in the trenches, man. We need to punch you in the face and see who's going to win every play. And that's really what it's going to come down to, right? But again, with the command of the quarterback and confidence of the quarterback and confidence in your team that you're going to make a play, do it. I mean, I go back to the Super Bowl with Marshawn Lynch. You got the best player on the field, and they didn't run the ball. I think a lot of coaches do that in regards to do what. Let's make it easy. Just make it easy. Run the ball. That's how I feel about it. Put 11 against 11. Run it 4 times. No, I don't need no trick plays. I'm gonna punch you.
I'm gonna get 3 or 4 yards every time.
Yeah, every time. That's what I want. So I don't care what quarterback or linebacker running back is back there, because that one person is gonna make that team. I need all guys pushing. That's why Philadelphia does so well.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it illegal now. Right? Because it's not about just him. You have Saquon Barkley and everybody pushing behind him, and that's what it takes to win.
Yep. Jordan?
Well, yeah, I mean, just to go on top of that, he's just speaking to the foundation of who you are and what you do offensively. Your toughness at the end of the day, man. Sometimes, man, you just got to line it up, and it's just me versus you. My man is better than your man. Essentially, that's what Jack is saying, right? But when you look at what we do offensively, what is our true identity going to be? And I think once Le'Veon went down, we lost that identity last year. Now, when it comes to the toughness factors, to the trenches, that is the most important thing on any football team. Then how can we build upon that and add some creativity with what Marcel has when it comes to his assets athletically? So I think, that's going to be important, man, seeing what that looks like going into the fall. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you got to have that yard, man. It's your guys in the trenches versus theirs. It's man on man, and you have to believe that your guys are better than theirs. It's a toughness factor. It's a mentality. It's a mindset. So, man, that'll be interesting to see. I think Elko can bring that out of everybody. But, man, I really want to see that improve this year. We got to be able to have that factor, especially going down in the stretch run of the season. That's going to be very important for what we want to do and what we want to accomplish.
Jamie, you can touch on that, and then I have a question about tight ends as well. So, but just start it off with being physically tough up front, getting those inches, getting those yards.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking on that, what Jordan said, what's our identity going to be? I think offensively and defensively as well, I think our identity needs to be blue collar. When we try to get cute and air it out and be like the old Texas Tech, I don't want us to be that. I think we should be known as a team that, like Jason said, we're going to run it down your throat. You know the run is coming. And then when you try to stop the run, we've got the able bodies outside that, and Marcel with his legs that can go downfield and make a big play. So I like to see us build on that. And I think Elko taking command of the defense this year and then having the bulk of our offensive line coming back, getting Le'Veon back healthy, Amari healthy, Ruben Owens back in the backfield, and then not to mention the young guys and other tight ends putting a hand in the pile. I see us doing nothing but going forward and going upward this year. So I'm looking forward to it.
Jamie, one name I didn't bring up that I should have. He didn't get a lot of looks at the end of the game, but that first couple of drives, the tight end Nate Borkature, he looked really solid. A name that we heard a lot about being a really good blocker, but and Amari Niblack, more the wide receiver of that group. He made some nice plays.
See, I hate that I didn't get to catch it. I was trying. We were talking about it before getting on. We couldn't get the feed on my TV. I had to watch it. Man. So I didn't get to necessarily see him. I will try to go back and catch see what he did, but not to. Aside from that, Theo, I know what he brings to the table. He looks a lot better body-wise this year. Looks like he's going to be a little quicker. And then I love the freshman, Quixote. He looks like he's going to be a game changer for us as well. So blocking, getting 2 tight ends in the game, going 12 personnel, whatever the case may be, I really do like our chances this year.
Guys, I also want to talk about some of the questions we had about this team coming into the offseason and the way they addressed it. Some of the names we brought up today, we just talked about Nate Borkature at tight end, Casey Concepcion, the wide receiver. He made some plays. Mario Craver made some plays. Marco Jones, the freshman, made plays. A lot of the names we've talked about are newcomers, which is, yes, you're not going to read too much into the spring game, but Jason, that's some of the names we're talking about today. Some of the guys that we're highlighting are the newcomers.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see. You want to have just say in regards to recruits, you want to have that 5-star name attached to making plays, right? If you're a 5-star, if you come in highly ranked, no matter what position, what title, you want to see that person making those plays, right? So it's the continuous development of how do we continue to develop, because this game now has changed so much with the portal, the NIL, and we know how conservative coaches are in regards to preventing others from capturing their players. So I'm really curious just to see how that first game goes, because I don't want to take anything away from the spring game, but I don't know how deep to look into it. I want to see those guys because I look for athleticness and all that other good stuff. But at the same time, I think for me, from my perspective, it's really the buy-in of just our program. A few years back when we had top-ranked number 2, number 3 in the nation, all the 5-star guys, it didn't pan out.
No buy-in.
Right? We didn't have any buy-in. So I'm really looking forward to the chemistry of the team and how well they're playing. And I think it's going to start with our quarterback and the command and how he leads us. But that's what we want to hear from those guys, right? We want to hear your name called, but we want to continue to help you, see that development through the process.
Jordan, Jamie, close us out. Jordan, you go first. Some final thoughts here on what you saw today and what we need to see here the rest of the way.
I mean, just final thoughts, you like to see the progression of the guys, but one of the things that I'm interested to see is just the integration of the young guys. Just kind of what Jack was saying, how you have some turnover, buy-in from players, but how do you integrate the younger guys now in this new world of college football? Guys transferring in and out. You have your depth that is coming back from, or your starters that are coming back from the previous year, but now you're looking at a lot of younger guys contributing. The Marco Jones of the world. You're looking like a guy like Noah, Michael out of Cali, our new linebacker, right? You're looking at the different young guys who can come in and contribute. So what does that look like from that end? How do they progress? How do we develop? That's going to be key to me. Looking at that from that perspective, then also the quarterback perspective as well. You're looking at Marcel, you're looking at Zeno, you're looking at the different guys that we have there. What is the development process, and how do we find key pieces and key depth pieces as we go through the SEC play and just through the season overall? So, man, just to takeaways, I thought we found some playmakers. I thought we saw some splash plays from a lot of the young guys. Now let's take that and let's progress moving forward through the summer and fall camp. And, man, let's really see how this depth and this integration of young guys all come together.
Jamie, closes out.
Yeah, kind of like Jordan was saying, I'd just like to see us building on this foundation. Last year, kind of like you spoke on, when Le'Veon went down, it definitely was a hit to our offense, and you're kind of looking around like, who's going to make the next play? Who's going to step up for us? So going into this spring game, seeing all these young guys kind of buy in and make plays, make catches, jump off the screen early, I think that's a great sign that guys are willing to go in there and make a play, and we're not looking or depending on one certain guy. I think it's going to be a mix of guys this year, and I love to see it on offense and defense, and then not to mention special teams. The 12th man looked great. I just like to see us all come together collectively as a whole, whether it's coaching, like I said, special teams, offense, defense, game plan, everything. We need to be on a upward trajectory, and I think that's where we're headed. So, I'm the eternal optimist with A&M, but I think this might be the year. I know we're getting over 8. We got to do it.
We got to.
Hey, Jordan, Jason, and Jamie, the 3 J's, just like the mid-90 Dallas Mavericks. Thanks, guys. Hopefully with a lot more success. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. We'll catch you guys on Monday on TexAgs Live. That does it for the TexAgs post-game wrap. We'll see you on Monday.